You guys, I found out today that I'm a ghost and I don't even know how it happened. It was a really tough day for me because I just found out I'm a ghost. And you guys, just kidding. This was a social experiment. Donate to my Patreon. Just kidding. You actually thought I was a ghost? How stupid are you? Ow. Oh my God. And now my foot is cramping. That's a bad one too. Yeah, that's a bad one. Woo! I'm handling it well, but that's a bad one. Ooh, wow, my foot's probably gonna fall off, I bet. Still cramping. Okay, I guess we should just get started. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lila. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, listen to my music. We're just gonna get into it. So today, and I've heard her say this so many times, but I'm gonna butcher her name. We're talking about Caroline Konstnar. Konstnar. Yeah. She is a YouTuber, content creator, has over 1 million subs on her YouTube, so obviously very poppin'. She took a break from her YouTube like a year ago and has recently come back to some controversy. Who would have thought a YouTuber having controversy? That's crazy. That's not true. That's fake news. That doesn't happen. So Caroline basically came back to the internet after a long hiatus with this very vulnerable video about how she is pregnant and she doesn't know what to do because she's 20 years old and she is of course going to have the baby, but she has fertility issues and she's not sure if this could be jeopardizing her being able to carry kids in the future.
I'm ovulating and I had like a plug of blood come out and I was like, oh my God, I'm pregnant. 20 years old and I am figuring out what to do with my life. But I meet so many people around me that are encouraging me to pick a thing, to be a thing. Like everyone's like committing to a bit. That's what life feels like. I'm committing to the bit of having a relationship with this woman who I don't really like. I'm committing to the bit of having this job that I don't really like. I'm committing to the bit of living in a democracy. I'm committing to this bit. I feel like it's okay to not know what I'm doing in life. Life will go on and I will, by default, be something, if not dead. I'm good, guys. I'm actually so good. I want to have a kid. I just don't think I can have a fucking kid right now. And I really want a kid. I do want a fucking kid. And I'm not being stupid. I'm not being like, oh, well, you're young. You don't really know what it's like. You have so much life to live. Fuck you! I'm having a baby. Like, I'm having the baby. It's not like it's not like I'm getting rid of it. It's like I'm having the baby. I'm gonna have a baby.
Remember how I had like shit going on with my uterus when I was 16? Like, I had surgeries just to get stuff removed, so like my fertility's always been kind of weird. I'm pregnant, and if there's any kind of like surgical intervention, I could really fuck up my fertility. Like I might not be able to have a kid again. And then the other thing is that if I have this kid, it's very likely that I won't be able to have another one.
This one, I just don't even know because this video was so detailed. When I tell you, it was only 5 minutes long, but I can just feel a cat hair in my eye. I got it. Okay, now I can be serious. Now I can take this real serious. Are you feeling what I'm picking up? Nope. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? It's about to get real serious. This video was so like detailed. And what I mean by that is there was montages. She was documenting the weeks of her pregnancy. She checked in and was like, hey, I'm in my 2nd trimester. Pregnancy is just as hard as everyone says. Having to deal with the social awkwardness of being around other people my age. And they're talking about they don't know what to do with their lives, where I'm like, I'm pregnant.
Oh, one and all. I'm currently in my 2nd trimester. And let me tell you something. Being pregnant is exactly what they say it is. It's pretty awful. It's very overwhelming to be 20 and pregnant because I'm around other 20-year-olds that are like, I don't even know what I'm like doing right now. Like, I don't even know who I am or what I want in life. And I'm just like, that sounds tough. Me personally, I'm about to throw out 18 years of my life doing the most selfish thing one could possibly do. I've had friends and family reach out to me And I've just sort of casually told them that I'm having a child. I haven't really done a whole announcement, but the reaction that I get from people is so interesting because they're like, oh, that's so nice for you. I'm really glad that you're deciding to do that with your life. And I'm like, God damn, can't we make motherhood cool again? We need a new ad campaign for motherhood, seriously.
She had multiple breakdowns where she was talking about this is just really overwhelming for her and she doesn't know what she's gonna do.
I'm good, guys. I'm actually so good. I want to have a kid. I just don't think I can have a fucking kid right now. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
Let me tell you, for 5 minutes, this was a whole damn documentary. It felt like such a quick glimpse into a larger part of her story, which made sense why there would be a lot to fill in because she had been gone for a year. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, oh, this is great. This YouTuber is coming on documenting her journey, yada, yada. What are we upset about? Hold on to your fucking butts, because shortly after Caroline uploaded that video, she uploaded another one. And this is where things get goofy and silly and wacky. So you're gonna wanna fucking strap in, okay? Caroline uploads a rather disturbing thumbnail where she says that she lost the baby. Now, obviously, trigger warning, because this is a very sensitive subject for obvious reasons. So now everyone's gonna freak out, just plain and simple, because that's horrible for someone to have to go through. I don't wish anyone to ever experience having to lose a child. It's just awful. I myself have not been through it, but I've been around people that have, and it is traumatizing and terrible. So probably not something to make a joke about, right? Not if you're Caroline, because she's goofy and silly and wacky. What did I tell you? Can you fucking keep up? Caroline starts this video by opening various compartments, refrigerators, looking under things, because she's making a joke about losing the baby.
Okay, guys, I lost the baby, and I don't know exactly where I put it. It has to be around here somewhere. Okay, so some of you guys are probably wondering.
Obviously, we're off to a bad start, if I'm gonna be honest. Definitely not the way that I would start a video where I'm alluding to the fact that I just had a miscarriage. But you know what? Caroline's just too goofy, silly, and wacky for us. We don't get it. Okay, we're boring. Ugh. We just have morals. Ew. Okay. I don't even know how to look, I can't even talk because I don't know how to explain how stupid this next part is. So essentially, Caroline sits down, says she lost the baby. And what she means by that is that fucking pranked you. It never existed. She was never pregnant. She never had a baby. And we're all stupid. And I'm only kind of sort of paraphrasing that because she begins to go into this whole spiel about how this was a social experiment. Remember when people used to do that shit? And it's really just an excuse to say that you're being a socially unacceptable asshole. But she was basically saying that she made the whole thing up because we just needed to spice it up a little, you know? She needs to bring on JoJo Siwa next to spice it up and bring around the exes or something.
Dream guest on my podcast? Oh my gosh. I mean, honestly, let's spice things up. One of my exes. Oh?
But she said the internet has made her aware of how parasocial life can get. And she goes into the fact that she was on YouTube as a 15-year-old and gained a following very quickly and had a lot of influence that she wasn't sure what to do with. And that she also experienced the negative side of parasocial relationships where she would get horrible, not excusing them, terrible comments that no one should have to receive, which then made her realize that we don't see each other as real. The commenters don't see her as a real person. She doesn't see us as real people. And she crafted this great, amazing social experiment to show how attached we get to people we don't even know.
No, I am not pregnant. And I'm sure some of you are shocked. I'm sure some of you are not surprised at all. I'm sure some of you don't care. But some of you might be asking, when you're a content creator, the line between entertainment and reality is very blurred. Your audience will become very attached to an abstraction of yourself. And the odd thing is that this connection can become very personally meaningful to the viewers, whilst not being personally meaningful to the creator itself. Your attention is monetarily valuable to me. And unless you have some narcissistic tendencies, which a lot of us do, the experience of having a parasocial relationship with your audience can be very uncomfortable. I'll give you an example. When I was 15 and I first started making content, I had a lot of people threaten to rape me every day. And if you could imagine, this was not fun. And the problem with this, beyond the obvious, is that there's no meaningful way to respond to this interaction. The offender has anonymity, and in some way, so do I. So I'm not treating them like a real person. They're not treating me like a real person. You're not real, and I'm not real, and none of this is real. And yet, the effect that we have on each other is still very real. I will present myself on the internet because I want to desperately be seen and to connect to other people. And a lot of you come on the internet, a lot of you will engage on the internet because you want to be seen and because you desperately want to connect to someone. I lied about being pregnant as a joke. And the joke is not that pregnancy under strenuous circumstances is funny. The joke is not that the audience was gullible enough to believe that I was pregnant. The joke is you connected to something that wasn't real. And I have become something that isn't real.
Now, I want to say when I watched the Marky video, he came up with a good point, because in this video, she's saying like, haha, you losers. You basically said like, congratulations on a baby that doesn't exist, you idiots. And Marky was basically like, I mean, that's what you do. You don't have to be parasocial or know the person to say congratulations. Like if you see a stranger and they tell you they're pregnant and they seem happy about it, you'd be like, oh my God, congratulations. Like it's not that weird. I've been on the internet for a minute. This is not my first channel. I understand the internet can be brutal and really mean, and the parasocialness of it all is literally a psychological phenomenon. You can't see the person and how they're emoting and reacting as you would face to face. So you get bolder and you say dumb shit. We all do it. Not acceptable. We really should stop, because it really is as simple as, if you wouldn't say it to someone's face, don't say it. And for some of y'all, if you would say the same things to someone's face that you say on the internet, there's a deeper problem there. For what it's worth, I actually think she comes off as a very intelligent, well-spoken person, which makes this more disappointing. She seems smart, but like she's 20, you know, she has a lot of life lessons to learn. And that's the only compliment I'm going to give, because now we go into the next part of this story, where she says, I'm starting a Patreon to stop all the parasocial relationships. I'm starting a Patreon because I figure if I put a paywall in place, the weirdos won't go there. They'll be deterred. So I'm going to put all the vulnerable shit behind the paywall. That way we can interact more authentically.
We all come here to find this connection over and over again. And we don't really find it until now, when you subscribe to my Patreon. Oh yeah, that's fucking right. This entire stunt has been an advertisement for my Patreon. I'm also announcing that I'm coming back to YouTube. Listen, I wanted to come back to YouTube and explain to everyone why I had been gone and what had happened to me in that time that made me want to come back. But some of you in my audience are pretty weird, and I don't blame any of you. You know, you can't help being weird, but I didn't think that it would be healthy for me to expose myself like that to all of you. And that's why I decided to keep a lot of my more sensitive information behind a paywall, where I would hope some of the audience would be more intentional with how they interact with me, because now it costs money to do so.
A paywall would not stop the weirdos. The weirdos would be more inclined to pay, because now they're getting exclusivity and content from you, access to things that other people wouldn't get. Like the weirdos would actually probably be the one that would flock to that. So that don't make a whole lot of sense, girl. The math is really not mathing, not even girl math. Not even gonna give you that. I think, needless to say, staging something as horrible and traumatic as losing a baby as a social experiment that you then flip around to promote your Patreon to tell people to give you money is maybe not the best move, if I'm being honest. Caroline, she's a bad thing. That's what I think of every time I hear that name. She is a bad thing. She was a bad girl. Yeah. We all knew I was going to go there with it. Mixed reactions. There honestly were some people in her comments that were like, if you're mad at Caroline, you just don't understand her or her humor. Which she pinned a comment like that and hearted it. And it's like, ma'am, that's parasocial. I don't know if you know, but someone saying that they should excuse your behavior and your crudeness because they just need to get to know you is that very thing that you were just like, boo, this is bad. I hate it. Unless it makes me money, unless you want to give me money to do it. What are we talking here? Like $20, $30 a month? Fucking sick, dude. That adds up. Like if you get your weird friends and I get my weird friends and everybody else gets their weird friends, that's like a lot of money for me. So I could pretend to know y'all, honestly, if it benefits me. Just please bring 5 other people with you. Credit cards out. Social Security out too. Honestly, if they're feeling it, I'm feeling it. I can have my administrative assistant take those numbers down. Yeah. So who cares? Be parasocial. I know I already said this, but it's also just like that first video was so intricate. If you're going to do a social experiment, don't do it about that. There are real women who cannot give birth that want nothing more than to be able to do so. Women who feel like there's something wrong with them. There is not. Women who feel ashamed. You should not. Families that are so devastated and never recover over losing their children. It's just such a in poor taste thing to joke about. And I understand people have dark humor. I have dark humor to a certain extent, but if you're going to do dark humor, number one, it has to be done right. And this wasn't. And I can tell she thinks she's very hilarious. And number two, it's just, there's just certain things that you just shouldn't. You just really shouldn't. And again, it just shows her immaturity. So the top comment was, if you're mad at Caroline, then you must be new here. She pinned that. She didn't even like it. So how's that for your parasocial relationship? Someone else said, it's so ironic that Caroline pinned that if you're mad at Caroline, then you must be new here comment, because that's the most parasocial thing someone could say. All the single mothers who poured their hearts out under the first video have a really neat surprise in store. Yeah. Parasocial relationships are bad. Proceeds to ask for money. Fan base defends her, which she appreciates. Yep. Absolutely no parasocial relationships can be found here. You must be blind or something. I faked a child's death to get your money. Guys, I think she's saying the real baby is the parasocial relationships we made along the way. Okay, if that's true, again, a way to do it, a way to not do it. I understand to talk about hard topics, you got to be a little uncomfortable, but this is just not it. No way she actually pulled the it's just a social experiment, bro. Yeah, so needless to say, everyone was not impressed. I'm sure it still worked for her. I'm sure she got all kinds of people going to her Patreon, probably the weirdos that she's trying to avoid. But there's really not much more to say. It's just kind of like, she's young. I hope she gets it together. It's really disappointing. It's not okay. I think part of it too is I just don't take her seriously. And I'm sure she banks on that. I'm not saying she's not worthy of being held accountable. She absolutely is. I'm just saying that she's so unserious and not in a way that works in her favor, in a way that's like, it's kind of time to grow up and understand why that's socially unacceptable and why that's super fucked up, especially when the end result is people giving you money that almost assuredly have less than you over a ploy where you toyed with their emotions. I don't understand it. It feels very manipulative and childish. Yep. That's pretty much that on that. I haven't seen any updates yet, but if I have any, I will of course let you know. And I feel like I should have more to say, but I really don't, which works out for y'all because I'm a talker. I will see y'all next time. Make sure to like, subscribe, listen to my music. Let me know what y'all want me to talk about. Thank you for all the love on my episodes. Thank you for the kindness, the constructive criticism, all of that. Thank you for being here. And y'all hear them Kendrick disses though? That shit crazy. I don't know. Bye.
Ooh, aren't you tired of the truth being too hard to tell?
We all come here to find this connection over and over again, and we don't really find it.